guys, welcome back. Carlos Guerrero with Cutting Edge, and today I want to show you the 10 million developer roadmap. In what stage are you? But most important, how do you get to the next stage? This roadmap has helped me grow not one, but two, three companies to over $10 million, and is also helping other contractors do the same. So this is what happens. When you start growing your business and you don't set everything, the foundation in your business, it collapses. It's like building a structure in your house and you have to do the foundation. Let's assume that you don't put any rebar on the foundation and you pour the concrete. As you build the walls, the house is gonna collapse because you didn't build the foundation. So the roadmap is for that. It's going to help you basically identify where you are in your business, but most important, what do you need in your business to get to the next stage? Because a lot of contractors, they basically just go without a plan or without a roadmap, and then you do this. You go in zigzag. You go all over the place, and some days you're up here, you're doing great. Some days you're down here. So we created this roadmap to kind of give you a guide on how to get from stage to stage so that you could go from a hustler to the CEO that you deserve to be, and then start growing your business so you could exit out. So let's get started. Developer roadmap. Stage one, most people that I meet, they either stage one or stage two. Let's talk about stage one for a second. Stage one, you're basically doing everything yourself. You're wearing all the hats, you're wearing all that. You're the marketer, you're the bookkeeper, you're the sales, you're the estimator. You're working 80, 90 hours a week. Your phone is ringing off the charts. You can't even go on vacation. That is stage one. And you're chasing every lead because you haven't been able to create a process, a systems to basically generate you leads and give you projects and give you more freedom. Now, there's the grinder, stage two. Now you have some help. You have a little bit of help in the grinding stage, but it's still everything depends on you. Maybe you're having people problem, like maybe you hire somebody else, but they're not really delivering or they can't do the job like you, right? I've been there. Trying to hire somebody and you don't trust them because they can't perform as well as you. But the problem is, I'm gonna tell you right now, what is the number one problem? It's not that you can't find good people. Is that you have not built the structure, the framework, the process in your business to onboard and train this individual so that they could do what needs to be done so that they could succeed at that position that you're creating for them. Does that make sense? And that's why everything is a process, a system. If you want the same exact systems we use today to qualify, present, and close $100,000 projects, text me the word sales to 786-949-3719, and I'll send over to you our sales closers blueprint for free. You're welcome. Now, let's talk about stage one and stage two for a second. This video, we're gonna talk about stage one and stage two, how to get out of there. All right, so stage one, you're here if you're doing everything yourself, right? Everything yourself, you're here. You're here if you have no systems, no help, just grinding, and you're stuck in survival mode. So this is where you are. Now, let's talk about how to fix this actually. This is what I will do to start fixing it, and this is what other contractors in our mentorship are doing, and we've seen great results. So make sure that you write this down. So stage one, if you're the hustler doing everything yourself, this is what you wanna start doing. You wanna make a simple list of your services. A lot of times, we're just trying to do too many things. So having a simple list of your services and understanding what is it that you provide value and what services you should be offering is going to help you with at least creating the systems that you need in your business. So create a simple list of your services. Then you want to create a spreadsheet to track your leads. Now, if you already have a CRM, then you want to use that. But let's assume you don't have nothing because you're in stage one. Remember, stage one is you're at the very beginning. So you want to create a spreadsheet to basically manage your lead flow. What happens when a client gets to you? What do you do with it? Are you just trying to remember by the phone, taking notes? Or do you have them in a spreadsheet that you could basically get all the information, track the stage, track when you follow up with them, track what was said in the conversation, track what's important to them, and so forth. Very important to have some kind of spreadsheet, CRM, to basically track all your leads. This also, by the way, helps you increase closing ratio by a lot. Now, the last thing on stage one that you want to start doing is start aside 1 hour a week for CEO time. Okay, so set aside 1 hour. So the most important thing that business owners could do is called time blocking. And in your calendar, you should time block. And I understand, as a self-employed and you're by yourself, you're wearing all the hat. So sometimes you have a lot of time. But if you have some time, you want to set every day or once a week or 2 times a week, just 1 hour to basically work on your business. Now, what does that mean, Carlos? Well, working on your business means that you're not at the job site, you're not running leads, You're not calling the customers. You're not going to buy material. No, you're literally sitting on your desk like this, and you're basically working on your business. You're working on how can you get better. You're working on a process. You're working on a system. You're working about who do I need to hire next. Like you're really planning on your business. Okay, so those are the 3 things that you could start doing right now to start seeing results from stage 1. Now let's talk about stage 2 for a second. So stage 2 is you are here, you're the grinder. If you have some help, like maybe you have 1 or 2 guys, right? But you know what I mean. You have help, but you don't really have help, right? It's like, it still depends on you, right? Like the people that you have clear, like they keep calling you, you have some help, right? You're still doing most of the work. Like you have them there, but they still call you, they drag back in the business. Every time like you think that you're gonna get ahead, they pull you back, right? And then also you're here if your marketing is random, right? So how are you getting your leads? Well, you know, sometimes I get a referral from a friend, sometimes I get this. Like there's no plan in your marketing system. You don't have a marketing campaign, you don't have a marketing team. You're not getting like 5, 10, 15, 20 leads per week on autopilot. You basically are just, if they come, they come. If they don't, well, hopefully I get to pay the bills. And by the way, this is like one of the most uncomfortable things that you could be at, because when you don't have a marketing plan and constantly coming in, you intend to go after the wrong projects. You intend to go after the wrong clients. And then you just spend so much time and effort on chasing a project that you shouldn't chase. Then you start lowering your price because you're so desperate on getting the project. And then you get the project, and then yes, I got a project. But then later on, it bites you in the ass because not profitable. You have that relationship with the client, they don't want to pay you, and then all that time and effort for what? Now, how to get to at a stage 2, the grinder? How to start fixing it? Okay, so if you're at this stage, this is what I want you guys to do. This is what I would do, by the way, and this is what my contractors are doing in a program that is helping them basically get out of the stage and start having a real life, start having a real business, right? So you want to choose one marketing source to double down on. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, can you use Google? Can you use Meta? Can you use the flyer? Can you use House? Is there something that you want to start, like pick one and basically use it, go down on it. Also, when you're doing your marketing, this is an extra bonus, by the way. When you're doing your marketing, make sure you know who you're talking to. A lot of times I see this mistake. People invest money on marketing, but they don't have an ideal client. Like, who is your ideal client? It is so important to understand what ideal client. Is it a homeowner, right? And if it's a homeowner, what kind of homeowner is it? Is it a busy homeowner? Is it a professional? Is it somebody that sits at home all day that's gonna be on top of you, watching you all day? Like, who is your ideal client? And you have to kind of like define this person, right? Once you define this person and like who they are, what do they like, where do they hang out, then your marketing goes everything around that person. Number 2, create a follow-up process. Can you start it, please? Create a follow-up process, even just 3 steps or 4 steps. Like, following up is so important in any business. You have to create a process, not just for yourself, but remember, everything that you're creating right now in your business, whether it's a sales process, an estimating process, a hiring process, a job description, everything that you're creating right now is for you to create it, test it, and then when you hire somebody, you could basically train them on it. So that's why it's so important writing everything down. So create a follow-up process, even just three steps. A follow-up process could be something like, you know, the minute that you hang up with the client, like, how long do you follow up the next? Is it 3 days? Is it 4 days? Is it 5 days? Okay, great. 5 days, great. What do you do? What do you say in that call? How does that look? That is creating a follow-up process. The next thing that you want to do to start fixing stage 2 is start using a CRM or even a basic Google Sheet. This is another huge thing. You want to be able to track all your leads, what stage they are in your sales process. Like, for example, in my company, we have a 4-step sales process. Write this down, very important. Phase number one is the initial call. And the initial call, we're qualifying. Who is this person? What kind of project do they have? And I help them. Is this my ideal clients? Like, I'm qualifying. Step number 2 in our sales process is that job site visit. Inside visit, we're gonna go to the job site and we're gonna take notes. We're gonna understand more of the client. We're gonna take pictures. We wanna get to know the client a little bit more. Then we jump into our step number 3, which is a presentation. Now, the client has to come to my office for a presentation, or at least a Zoom presentation. One of the biggest mistakes that I was doing, and I lost so much business, was I would just email a proposal. Don't do that. You never email a proposal. You always present it. Because a lot of times they don't know how to compare apples to apples. Let's be honest. A lot of times they don't know how to compare apples to apples. You give them a price, they think they're getting a great price because they're just looking at the number, but they miss the scope of work. So you want to be able to present. So like that, you could start increasing your closing ratio. And my phase number 4 for our sales process is we negotiate and we close the deal. But let's assume that we get in the presentation. Now we go to that process. Like what are we doing in the follow-up process to get the project? Okay. So basically that is valuable information that I'm sharing with you guys because it has helped me tremendous grow my business. It has helped me tremendous go from a hustler to a CEO. It has gotten me out of the truck. I could basically travel now. I don't have to worry about the business. My business basically runs on autopilot. And all this information I'm giving you is also helping other contractors do the same. So take all this information so that you can start basically getting out of the step-by-step. Now, I only talking to you guys about those two today. If you want to find out more, there might be a link at the bottom that you can get in contact with us. But if this information was valuable to you guys, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. I'll see you next one, guys. Thank you so much.